Hello, today we are going to be talking about the number line. And the number line helps us visualize whole numbers. Whole numbers go from negative infinity all the way to positive infinity. And I have labeled some points here. So I've labeled 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And it can continue to go on, but I didn't have room on my number line, but these arrows indicate that. And then I labeled -1, -2, -3, -4, -5, and it can continue on to the left, and these arrows indicate that. So if I had said plot or indicate where 3 is. So 3 on the number line is right here, right? Because that's the third tick mark. If I said indicate or plot where -2 is, you're going to go right here because that's where -2 is. So now I'm going to give you some more examples to practice. Try doing 5, -1, and 0. Okay, so 5 is here, -1 is here, and 0 is right in the middle. Sometimes number lines don't go by 1, they can go by tens. So in this case, our number line is 10, 20, 30, 40, 50. And there's values in between 0 and 10, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. But I did not label them. But this number line goes by tens. So if I said plot 30, you're going to plot it right here. If I said plot -20, you plot it right here. A tricky one might be if I said plot 15. So 15 is not on the number line, but you can guess that it's going to be between 10 and 20 because the number 15 is between 10 and 20. So I'm going to plot it here. So I'm going to give you some more examples to practice. So we see that -5 is between -10 and 0, right? We know that 40 is here. We know where -10 is. When we talk about absolute value, we are looking for the distance from that number to 0. So if I said, what is the absolute value of -2? The distance between -2 and 0 is 2 units. So 1, 2. So the absolute value of -2 is 2. The way we write this is we write the number -2. We write these little absolute value signs, and we say equals 2. This means the absolute value of -2 is 2 because it's 2 units away from 0. Let's try +4. +4 is 1, 2, 3, 4 units away from 0. So the absolute value of 4 is equal to 4. Let's try one more. What is the absolute value of 2? The absolute value of 2 is 1, 2, because it's 2 units away from 0. So I'm going to ask you some more questions so that you can practice. So what about -3? And 1? And the absolute value of 6. So let's look at -3. It is 1, 2, 3 units away from 0. So the absolute value of -3 is 3. Let's look at 1. 1. It's 1 unit away from 0. So the answer is 1. 6. It's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 units away from 0. So the absolute value of 6 is equal to 6. And when we talk about absolute value can never be negative. The negative sign indicates a direction. Absolute value sign, or when we're trying to find the absolute value, that's the distance. We are looking for the distance from that number to 0. So it can never be negative. It's a common mistake I see a lot. And when you see brackets like this, you don't know what to do. All that means is find the absolute value. Find the distance between that integer and 0. That's super easy. We all know how to do that. Don't let the notation confuse you. And don't let the negative numbers confuse you. The negative number just indicates the direction. It just indicates it's going to the left instead of going to the right.